remember these creepy and odd childhood toys? One thing I've noticed recently is that, among the plethora of children's games that revolve around poo, Doggy Doo, on the Bog, Fishin for floaters, etc., many games have been resurrected by uncreative toy manufacturers. However, many toys from your childhood have been relegated to the attic of our memories, toys that your friends had that stirred you into paroxysms of envy, toys from your long-forgotten favorite TV shows, and toys that were just bizarre. Boglin puppets, ALF the alien, and even a hugely popular anthropomorphic rat in a jumper were all must-buys. So put aside your search for your kids' scatological must-haves and instead trawl through your discarded pile of childhood treasures. During my research, I found this doll. The doll was so creepy that it is thought to be one of the inspirations for the film Child's Play, with the infamous hideously grinning good guy doll, Chucky. Of course, when the film came out, the market was flooded with good guy dolls and Chuckies. I'm guessing they were probably more popular than its progenitor. Tucked away in a relative's attic was this wondrous treasure. I have to admit, if I had seen this as a teenager, I would have loved it. You're right, I didn't get out much. Basically, one of 24 mulleted strange men fancies you and you have to solve the clues on the phone recordings to work out home. This game was briefly updated later on to include texting. Now, I remember this being a huge craze when I was young. Not for me, though. Look at them, they are vile. But I know they were on most of my friends' wish lists. I was more than happy with my Cindy dolls. They were supposed to be a baby you found in a cabbage and then adopted. Sex ed in those days was pretty poor. One Cabbage Patch doll had a motorized mouth so it could eat everything in sight. The mechanism enabling this was a pair of one-way smooth metal rollers behind plastic lips. The line was withdrawn in 1997 following several incidents where children got their fingers or hair stuck in the dolls' mouths, leading to safety warnings. From Star Wars, through Masters of the Universe and She-Ra, and including Thundercats, action figures based on your favorite film or TV program were as popular then as they are today. However, there were truly hideous figures to be found. If you had the balls, you could play with an action figure of Zelda, above left, from Terox. Wurzel Gummidge made for some seriously freaky collectibles too. At one point you could buy Aunt Sally and Wurzel Gummidge dolls, each with 3 interchangeable heads, and a figure of the sinister Crowman, who was a character akin to a Witchfinder general. Ghastly. In the late 70s and early 80s, everyone wanted computer games. We would sometimes be allowed to play on the school BBC computer and that was a special treat. I had an Atari 400 home computer, where I played Frogger and Space Invaders, then a Commodore 64, and ZX Spectrum. But the game that I really wanted belonged to my best friend. I bring you, the Tommytronic Pac-Man handheld game. Previously only seen in arcades where the bigger kids played, you could actually play Pac-Man without waiting for what seemed like years for the game to load. Okay, so I'm looking at it now and thinking, was that it? Was that the game that inspired so much envy in me as a kid, that made me go round my best friend's night every night just so I could watch her play? By today's standards, it looks pretty crap. And the tinny beeping is annoying. But next to the first versions of Space Invaders, I have to say, it looked pretty thrilling. More, 17 toys every 80s kid desperately wanted for Christmas. More, the 14 toys every girl who grew up in the 80s still wants for Christmas.